Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get back on the channel. Arnie Dawson, he's now 3-0 with one knockout. And yeah, his next fight is on the 5th of October. Jacob Brown's Ondrium in Brownsville. And he's boxing in against Roberto Castro over 5 rounds. And yes, how are you, Arnie?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Sam. How about you, mate? You right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad. And yeah, before we get into your fight, your upcoming bout, of course, you had the one fight so far this year. You had it was at your call when you fought Lee Hallett over 6 rounds, and it was a 58-56 win to yourself.
Yeah, that's the one, mate. Yeah, like I say, when you look back, this obviously the score looks quite close, and he was coming and he was aggressive, but I don't think the scorecard like the 58-56 gives the fight like the justice if you know what I mean. Like I thought, even though he was coming, and I respect Lee, he's like a tough journeyman, but I do think I was dominating like. And because he was come forward and I was on the ropes, I think that can be seen sometimes by certain like judges or referees as like it, judging the aggression. But I do think I won 5 or 6 of the rounds. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, good win. Yeah, back in April, it was a good win. Good.
Yeah. So were you surprised when they said it was 58-56 or?
Yeah, because you think I know. Obviously, I know this is obvious to say, but I know boxing, and when they're reading the cards out, I know that that's a point away from a draw. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think giving him 2 rounds is very generous, especially in a 6 round. I'd like, and I said it in the post fight interview. Being aggressive doesn't mean you're winning the bout. Do you know what I mean? Like him being on
Did
the
you
front
took
foot.
most of them on the glove or you slipped a few of them as
Yeah,
well?
exactly. When I'm backed up on the ropes, I know what I'm doing when I'm there, and I'm comfortable there. So that doesn't mean that he's winning the fight. And obviously, I've got to bear that in mind going into future contests with certain referees and judges that I don't want to be look to be too much on the ropes. You know what I mean? But um, especially when like if they're judging it that sort of way. But yeah, I thought I was bossing it, and there weren't one part in there when I was like not in control and didn't feel comfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, yeah, so that was a good win for you. And of course, he was a bit heavier than you as well, wasn't he, on the day?
Yeah, I think. Well, to be fair, other than my debut, I know I've only had the three, but both my second and the third fights have both been like a lot heavier than me. So, and I think the fact that I've been able to, I know Lee was aggressive and come forward, but the fact I've been comfortable in there size wise and strength wise leaves me in good stead for going forward when I'm fighting people at championship weight. And they're also making championship weight. Like I think Ricky Leach, the fella I boxed the second time, I think he coming at like 147 or saying, can I come in at 138 or 137? I think that's like £10. But when I'm fighting someone that's also coming in the same weight as me, I'm going to be a lot physically prepared to them when I've been in there with them sort of people. Do you know what I mean? Especially when I've been sparring like bigger people and fighting bigger people. When they're my size, I'll be bigger than them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly that. And you're quite tall for the weight as well.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the time, even in sparring, I'm sparring bigger fighters, and we get pictures after the spar, and I look like I'm bigger than them. Do you know what I mean? You think I'm actually lighter than them in theory. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have that advantage, and I think my size will be a big advantage, especially when I start coming down in weight and boxing people who are also coming down in weight and championship weight and stuff. Because these journeymen, they can come in, and because they're there, we all know what the journeyman's role is. They sort of get away with turning up being sort of whatever weight they want to an extent. So when I've
They
got
do
some,
float in weight though, so they do sometimes fight at like super light. I mean, I've seen Lee fight super lightweight, maybe welter before as well.
yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure his last fight he boxed that Hamza Butt that was meant to be boxing Alfie Winter at welter. So Lee can go up and down, and you see when he's in there, he's got a broad back, and he's not a small fella. Do you know what I mean?
but it is tough for them, when you're fighting most weeks to.
Oh yeah, of course. They're never going to be able to. If you think like when a prospect's fighting, they've got 6 weeks or something, or 4 or 5 weeks. They've got to boil down and get to that weight, and they know that they've got to get to that certain weight. And to be fair, I don't have to get down really too like drastic or anything like mad, but I know that I've got one date and I've got to hit that weight on one date. Whereas because they're fighting all the time, they're going to be boxing at a lot more of a natural weight, and it will fluctuate depending on how late notice the call is, etc., like and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so talk about your upcoming fight. You've got Roberto Castro in Brownsville. Talk about how that sort of opportunities come about.
So what happened is I boxed in the end of at the end of April, like we was just talking about, and then I was waiting for like a fight date, and then in May, I got a call from my manager Martin Bowers, and I was offered two things. I was offered an unbeaten prospect in the UK um in June on the 29th on the TM14 show.
Oh, I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah, and I was also offered at the same time Texas, and I said yes to both of them. So when Texas come about, it was an opportunity that I couldn't turn down. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't going to turn the opportunity down. So um, the other fight fell through and never come off. That's why I've had a bit of a layoff, and it seems like I've been in the gym the whole time, but it seems like I've not boxed in a while because the fight in June never come off. But I've just been chipping away waiting for this one. So yeah, Martin rang me, said he's got an opportunity for me to box in Texas, and I grabbed it at both hands straight away.
I mean, you would be silly not to.
Yeah, exactly. Especially just the whole experience. Like you're in boxing for them experiences, aren't you? When you obviously the most important thing is winning and doing a good job and guiding your career properly. But I believe in Martin and Gareth and my team that they wouldn't be trucking me in if they didn't believe that I could win. So an opportunity. All I didn't hear win or lose in that situation. I heard Martin and Gareth saying it's a good opportunity, which in my mind meant they think I'm going to win because they believe in me and I believe in them. So all I heard was a week in Texas and boxing, and you couldn't really say no to that opportunity, could you?
Yeah, I mean exactly, and of course it's sort of a is it a 5v5 UK v USA?
So it was 5v5 as it started, and then it moved to 6v6, and now it's actually like we're 2.5, well, we're 3 weeks out, but we fly in 2.5 weeks. It's now a 7v7. So
Yeah, well even better.
with a few opponents dropping out here and there, yes, 7v7. It's now finalised that.
Oh well, that's cool. And do you feel privileged to be, boxing on the 7v7 card?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Like I say, a big thank you to like TM14 and Dennis Hobson and Fight Zone and all those people, and to think that they've had that opportunity, and only 7 fighters have been picked, and I'm one of them 7. Yeah, I'm massively grateful, and I'm honoured to be on the card. Do you know what I mean? So yes, it's now my job to go out there and show them why they've put me on the card. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. And what do you know about your opponent, Roberto Castro? Of course, he's had the 3 fights, such like yourself. He's 2 wins with 1 defeat. What do you know about him?
I don't know too much, to be fair. The only footage I've seen on him is his most recent victory. So, like, I think that's it. That I'd rather see that than one of his losses because I can see in the victory what he does well. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know too much about him. I think he's 27 or something like that, like a little bit older than me. Um, Boxed a little bit heavier, but from looking at his box rec and seeing a few things online, I think he had a little bit of time out. So he boxed 2017 and 18, I think it was, and then had time out. So he's come back a bit heavier, but I do think that's due to having the time out. And then, so obviously, our fight, he's going to be light. My fight, he's going to be lighter. So, yeah, I don't know too much about him, but Mexican American, they're always going to be game and tough. And even though you can't speak for each of them as a whole group, with them, they're going to be tough. They're going to be game. So, yeah, he's probably going to tick all those boxes. But yeah.
Are you expecting your toughest challenge to date? Of course, it's a step up.
Well, the thing is, a lot like you see with a lot of like fighters and a lot of boxing, like historically, because it's a tougher test on paper and the biggest test on paper, that can sometimes bring out the best in the fighter. Like you've seen it throughout the years, like fights that are meant to be the harder ones for certain people end up being the easier fight because they turn up on the night and they're razor sharp. Do you know what I mean? So, and I think that's going to be the case with myself. Like I don't think the fight's going to be easy, and I expect like possibly my hardest fight. But I also think that because I'm expecting that, and because I'm going to be going in there razor sharp, like ready to do the business, it could work out one of my best performances and my easiest fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because as the journeyman, they are game, and sometimes, um, you know, when you've got a fight next week, you want to get through a certain fight and go again, sort of thing.
Yeah,
So, and
yeah, of course. Like, and out of my three fights, obviously, like I got Ricky Leach out of there in the second fight, but you could see from the three fights that they are awkward because even though Lee was coming forward and being aggressive, he was also being clever and being cute. Sorry, 2 seconds. Is that better?
yeah,
Can
yeah, I
you?
can hear you.
Sorry, yeah. He was being clever and being cute, and like with this fella, he's because he's going to be coming to win. A lot of the time, that leaves gaps, and they leave themselves more vulnerable when they're trying to win, which is what the journeymen don't do.
Hmm. Yeah, and of course, talk about it being 5 rounds.
Yeah, well, I think the whole point of the 5 round, obviously, I know it's a bit unusual. Normally, you got 4 or 6, but I think it's so that they're a little bit easier to have a winner. Do you know? Obviously, I know with knockdowns and things, draws and that are still possible, but it's a lot less likely having a draw with a 5 rounder than with like a 4 or 6. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the only reason, so that we go over there and there's like, because they're doing it Team UK versus Team USA. I think they've got 5 rounds, so that there will be winners of the contest, and then there will be a winner overall. A little bit easier than it would be if there was loads of draws. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, how do you prepare for a sort of odd round fight?
But what I've been doing is I've been doing it as always in sparring. You always spar a little bit more than you fight anyway. So even when I was doing, like when I had a 6 rounder, you're sparring 8 rounds, or when you got a 4 rounder, you're sparring 6 rounds. But I've been sparring a good 6 rounds, 8 rounds in the gym, and then on the pads and the bags, I've been working in like 5 rounds. My shadow, I've been doing like 5 rounds, and it's just with the sparring, it's the same as like I've been sparring 6 rounds, but then on the 6 rounders, I know that I've got one less round, so it's not really no different preparation wise. I just know that when I get in there, I'll time it slightly different so that I'm not waiting for that extra round, and I'll up it a little bit earlier than I would do in a 6 rounder and so on. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. And do you feel like Team UK will get the W?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't really know too much about any of the fighters on Team UK. Like I know bits and bobs, but I don't know too much about all of them, and I don't know a lot about the fighters on Team USA. So it's hard to actually get a full like prediction on who's gonna come out on top. But yeah, I'm back in Team UK to go out there and do a job on them, and I think we're gonna go out there and turn them over. So
Yes. And Spencer Oliver v Roy Jones as well. So that must be special
yeah,
fighting.
yeah, exactly. It's just seeing like we've got them sort of people around the build, you know what I mean? Like and being involved, and it shows that it's not just an average card. It shows that it's a quality card to be involved in. Do you know what I mean? Having them sort of fighters like ex fighters and that around the bill, and like yeah, nice. It's going to be good, man. Obviously, Roy Jones has got his fighter on the card as well against one of the UK boys. So yeah, nice. It's going to be exciting stuff having them around the show.
And I believe it will be on Fight Zone anyway. So
Yeah, Fight Zone and Talksport, I think. So either way, we'll be able to pick it up in England and see some stuff anyway. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, man. It'll be exciting stuff.
I'll have to set an alarm to make sure I'm up.
Yeah, exactly. I think the show it works out that it's like anywhere between like 11 o'clock and 5 in the morning. The show's running, so yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah,
Good stuff. Can we expect a stoppage from you as or you know, the usual saying, if it comes, it comes sort of thing?
yeah. Like I don't look at my style as like I'm not a big puncher, and that's not my. Sorry, am I back there? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a massive puncher in terms of like I don't go out there looking for one big shot. But as you've seen in my second fight and stuff like that, um, I'm a crisp puncher and I've got good timing
Yeah.
and stoppages can come because of my boxing ability.
Because of
You
the
don't
timing as
yeah
well.
you don't have timing beats speed like and all them sayings and stuff. Like precision beats power and all that. You don't have to be this muscle bound big one punch banger. Like if you land in those little gloves on the chin with good timing and crisp shots, anyone can go. So like I said, I'm not predicting a stoppage, but I wouldn't be surprised if I stop them all at the same time. You know, I believe in my boxing ability and believe that I'll be sharp and crisp on the night. And yeah, anyone can go when you hit them in the right spot.
Do you feel like this is your time to sort of make a statement? Of course, you're boxing in front of USA fans as well who might be watching you for the first time.
Yeah, man. Like I say, the other shows have been on Fight Zone as well, the other TM14 shows, but this one's a big one, isn't it? We're out in America. We've got the promoters out there, things like that. Like if I go out there and do a good job, you never know who's watching. Like you say, you got Roy Jones watching. You never know who's watching, and I feel like it's coming at the perfect time for me to turn up and like you say, Sean, put my name in their mouths a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Get them talking. So
Sort of show them what you're made of.
yeah, exactly. There's only 7 boys on the card, like English boys on the card, and there's only 7 for a reason. Do you know what I mean? So if I can shine out of them 7 as well, then not only am I part of that 7, I'm also making a statement within that 7. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly that. And yeah, is there any fights that like you're looking forward to as a fan?
Well, like I said, I don't know too much about the UK fighters and the US fighters on the card, but I'm looking forward to just getting out there, having a week with because we were going to be out there for a week before, all staying in
Is there like
Airbnbs and that.
press conferences and stuff,
Yeah,
or
we got a press conference on the Monday, I believe, an open workout on the Wednesday, and then the
that's
weigh-in on the
good.
Friday, and then the weigh-in on the Friday. But we're all staying in Airbnbs together. So, but obviously I don't know too much about them now. But by the time it comes around, we're gonna have a week staying in Airbnbs with all the UK fighters. So when it actually comes to fight night, we're all gonna know each other well, and we're all gonna have spent a week together. So I'll be rooting for all of them and looking forward to all of them doing the business. Do you know what I mean?
100%. I'm yeah. I mean, like any fights outside of the card. I mean, are you looking forward to?
Oh yeah, and like, well, I always keep an eye on all the Peacock boys and that, because obviously that's what I'm managed by, and I go down there sparring. So I'm always keeping an eye on their fights and that, and like watching their fights. A few of them are on like the Warren shows and that, and obviously you got the big one with Joshua and Debar and stuff.
Who've
But
you
yeah,
got?
no, I think Joshua will beat him. I think yeah, I think he's just that too experienced. I think when it gets into deep waters a little bit, I think that Debar's overcome certain stuff, but he's still like I do think it's there a little bit still. Do you know what I mean? It's not, and I know Joshua had that fight with Ruiz and that, but I think he tried to stick it out a little bit longer. Do you know what I mean? And I think when the going gets tough and like the experience will come through and shine through of Joshua. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. And yeah. Before I let you go, as always, I'll let you shout out whoever you want, really.
Yeah, no, just big shout out to everyone supporting and that, everyone following the Instagram, the social medias. My sponsors, obviously you got Delaney Property Groups, County Repair Centre, and also a big sponsor to big shout out sorry to Metallic Elephant for sponsoring my fight kit and helping out my fight kit ahead of this fight. So yeah, no, I appreciate all of them and obviously Martin, my manager, TM14, John, Fight Zone, Gareth, my trainer, like just everyone for helping and yeah, no, it's time to go and shine and do a job on October the 5th, man.
100%, mate. And I'll look forward to watching it. And as always, good luck with the fight.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.
Go smash it. Bye, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Bye.